Okay, in this video I'm going to show you how to make this dollar origami sword, but in this video I'm also going to show you how to modify it and make this dollar origami sword. This will be the slow tutorial, so in this video I'm going to take my time showing you each step so that it's easy to follow. So let's get started. We take our dollar bill, and whichever side we want the face of the sword to be on, we're going to put face down. So if I want the George Washington side to face the sword, to be on the sword, I'm going to put that face down. So once it's face down, what we need to do is we need to fold it in half. So I'm going to take this side and fold it along this side, being careful to line up the corners. So I'm going to get the corners lined up, put it down, and I will crease that. Just like so. Good crease in there. Once we do that, we're going to go ahead and open this up, and that should give us a nice crease down the center. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take each of these sides, and then we're going to fold it along that crease. I'm going to try and be careful to be right on the crease, all the way to the edge. Crease that down. I'm going to rotate this, and I'm going to do the same thing to this side. Now it's a little easier because all I have to do is just butt it up against the other piece of paper. Alright, so this is where you should be at this point. Once we're here, what we're going to do is we're going to choose one of the sides, and then we're going to take these corners and then we're going to fold them back to the center so that this top edge runs right down the center line. So, take one corner, we will fold that down just like that. We can even crease that down real good. We're going to do the same thing with this side. And this side, this corner should be able to butt up right against that corner. Just like that. And crease that down. Okay, so once we have this, what we're going to do, so we're going to put this on its side. Now we're going to fold this again. We're going to take these edges, and then we're going to fold them along the center. But as we fold it, right here where we've made this triangle, this is where the paper is going to bind. So we'll have to pay attention up there. So we're going to go ahead and fold this down. And then we'll go down first. And I'll show you what I do at the top. Alright, so once that's folded, what I'm going to do here with this triangle is I'm going to pinch this and kind of guide it. So I'm going to fold the paper down so that it knows where to go, and then go ahead and crease that down. Just like that. I'm going to do the same thing to this side. So I'm going to rotate this. I'm going to butt this right up against that other paper. Go all the way down. Come all the way up. I'm going to pinch this corner and then crease that down. So once you have this, once you're at this point, what we're going to do is we're going to open this up, just this first flap. I'll run my finger down so they stay open. What we want is we want these creases because in the next couple of steps we're going to use those. So, but for now we want it open. We're going to go ahead and flip this over. We're going to take not the pointed side but the flat side, and we're going to fold it over to this circle. You may have this circle if you folded the tip on this side, but you're going to go to the outside of the circle, just like that. You're going to line up the edges of the paper because you want to keep this straight. Then you're going to come back and pinch that down. I give that a crease with my fingernails, make sure there's a good line there. Once we have this, we're going to take this folded side, we're going to put it down. so the longer side with the pointed end should be up. Now remember those creases we made? This is where they're going to come in handy. So we're going to start to fold this back, right back along that crease, but it's going to lift up this corner. So what we're going to do is we're going to kind of guide this here, and then with this fingers we're coming up the center, we're recreasing that down. We're going to go ahead and go in that pocket. Then with our other thumb, we're going to squish it down. It's called the squash fold. So we're going to squish that down. We're going to do the same thing to this side. So if I'm getting ahead of you, go ahead and pause the video, and then you can restart it to catch up. Okay, so I'm going to fold this side. I'm going to start down here at the triangle. Fold that. I'm going to fold up. I'm going to help guide the paper as it needs it until I get that triangle. My other thumb, I'm going to squash that down. So at this point, this is what you should have. Okay, once we have this, what we're going to do is we're going to take this back flap and we're going to fold it up. But our fold point is going to be right here where we made these triangles. Okay? So what I mean by that is we're going to fold this up like so, right to where those triangles are. We're going to make sure the paper's straight, and we're going to crimp it down. You can just give that a pinch, that should be good enough. Here's the back side, here's this side. Okay, now I'm going to put this on the table, and what we're going to do is we're going to take this whole flap, and I'm going to take this edge, and I'm going to run it down this long edge here with these two triangles. I'm not going to crimp it down all the way, I'm just going to right now line it up. I'm going to hold that down. Then I'm going to crimp just this part here. If you go all the way, it's not a problem, but I just do this half. And we're going to lift it up. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. So I'm going to take this, make that edge follow that edge, crimp down this half, and then I'm going to open it. So now I have these two cross folds. Now what we're going to do is, if you fold this back just a little bit, you'll see this flat edge here. Well, we're going to take this paper and we're going to fold it over on that flat edge. So that fold should be right there, right with it. Fold that down. I'm going to make sure my paper is lined up, the center crease with this center crease. Then I'm going to give that a pinch. Let's go ahead and pinch that all the way across. Then we're going to let it up. Now this is the tricky part. So what we're going to do is we're going to fold these corners in, just like this. Remember those creases we made down here? They're also up here. So we're going to start to fold these top ones in. Now I know this is tricky, so if I get ahead of you, go ahead and pause the video or come back to this part. It might help to just watch it and then come back and watch this part. So I'm going to fold these in, fold those up, and then lay this down. I'm going to keep it along, and I'll make sure it's not lifting anywhere, and then I will pinch it down. Okay, did you see how that worked? So these corners here, they fold in. This part lays against that. This is going to be the handle of your sword. Corners, handle, fold down. Okay, so if you're at this point, what we're going to do now is we're going to take this flap here, and we're going to fold it back, but we're going to use this edge here as our fold point. So I'm going to go here, hold it there, keeping the paper straight. I'll pinch that down. Okay, now this is the last tricky part here. What we're going to do is we're going to take these edges here, this one, and then we're going to fold them onto the center. But when we do that, the paper over here is going to lift up. We're going to do that squash fold again. I'll show you how this works. So we're going to lay this down. We're going to start at the back side. I'm going to lift this. I'm going to fold this right on the center. Hold that down. Run my finger up into that little triangle, and then with my other thumb, I'm just going to squish it down. Just squish that paper down. And I'm going to rotate it, and I'm going to do the same thing on this side. So I'm going to pick it up, fold it down. Let's start on the back side, work my way up. Sometimes you'll have to lift the paper. So you get that triangle and squish it down. Now if it's a little out of shape, you can just twist that and reshape. This handle is easy to shape. Go ahead and twist that. When we flip this over, we have that first sword I showed you. Okay, I also said I was going to show you how to modify it. Now this modification is really easy to do. So what we're going to do is we're going to put this sword face down. We're going to hold it by its handle here. We're going to lift up these flaps. Okay, just this first flap. We're going to leave the under one down. What we're going to do is right here where it makes that turn, that corner right there, we're going to kind of crease that. We're going to start to train the paper, and then we're going to taper it back all the way to the center fold, right where the original fold was. Once you have that, you just run your finger here and make that crease. If it goes too wide, like mine did, you can just fold it back. Just kind of guide it along until it's the shape you want. And we're going to rotate it, and we'll do the same thing on this side. So we're going to go ahead, shape that down, and then crease it. Just like that. Now once you turn that over, you have the broadsword. Alright, well I hope this video was helpful. Like I said, if I went too fast, go ahead and rewind it and check out the parts that you had trouble with. I know this has some tricky parts. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.